Welcome to this beginner level Audacity tutorial. We will learn how to record audio in Audacity and edit those recordings. We will also learn how to edit existing recordings in Audacity. And finally, we will see how we can make those recordings sound better through various Audacity effects. How to record. Recording in Audacity is very simple. If you press the red record button, the recording will start. You can also press R on the keyboard. However, you have to ensure that you have set all the options correctly before recording. Otherwise, your recording quality will be poor. It is very important to get as much good recording as possible. It makes audio editing easier, and the final quality of audio depends on how good the recording is. To achieve the best possible recording quality, you have to check 4 points before recording: the microphone, the recording channel, the microphone input level, and the project rate. I'll go through all these points one by one. Go to audio setup and you can configure your recording setup from here. You will see all your connected microphones from the recording device. The currently selected microphone will have a tick mark beside it. Select the microphone you want to use for recording. My microphone is connected through a Escalate audio interface. If I check the recording device from audio setup again, I see Escalate has a tick mark beside it. I find this way of selecting microphone can lead to an issue where you forget to set the proper microphone. I suggest setting the microphone from the device toolbar, where you can always see which microphone is selected. You can find the device toolbar from View, Toolbars and Device toolbar. A new toolbar has been added. You can always see which microphone is currently selected for recording. The device toolbar is one of the most useful toolbars in Audacity, but it is not shown by default. So remember to enable this toolbar from the menu. Sometimes you may not see the microphone in this list, though it is connected to the computer. It happens when you attach the microphone while Audacity is open. To solve this, go to Transport and rescan audio devices. The microphone is selected and now set the recording channel. There are 2 options for recording channels, mono and stereo. For voiceover, mono is fine. For music recording, you might want to select the stereo recording channel. With a stereo recording channel, you can add different effects on the left and right sides of the headphone. For voice recording, you will not need such effects, so select mono to keep things simple. After the recording channel drop-down, you will see another device drop-down. This is the playback device, so you can select it later when you listen to your recorded audio. During recording, it is not important unless you want to monitor your recording live or use the overdub feature for multi-track recording. I'll get back to these points later. Now I want to record a simple voiceover. It is vital to set the recording volume level properly. Post-processing your audio heavily depends on the input level of your recording. You can check your recording level or gain from the recording meter. Click on the small microphone icon and start monitoring. This way you can set the proper input level before recording. Your goal would be to hit -12 on this meter during the loudest peaks. Not every spoken word has to hit -12 in this meter. Only the louder sound should be around -12. Other spoken words should cross -24 and be around -18 most of the time. You may have to increase the gain if you are not achieving such a level in the record meter. You may increase the gain through the volume knob of the microphone or audio interface if you search a knob there. The recording meter also has a slider that can be used to control gain. You can drag this slider to adjust the recording level. Though this slider sometimes freezes due to a bug in Audacity, it has freezed at the moment. Let me show that from the playback meter slider, as both works similarly. You can adjust the slider and check the meter if it is hitting in the right place. When it hits the right place in the meter, you set the slider in that position. I keep the recording meter to 100%. You may have to position the microphone differently if you fail to hit -12 on the meter, even after increasing the gain. You may have to come closer to the microphone, talk louder, or adjust your talking direction. You may ask me why you have to hit -12 on the meter. Well, you can hit higher than that, like -6. Notice the maximum on this meter is 0. Closer to 0 you record, the less headroom you will have in post-production. If you boost some signals in the post-processing and it crosses 0, it will result in clipping or distorted sound. -12 is a safe enough value to get enough headroom in the post-processing. I would like to increase the size of the meter as it is so important to monitor. You can drag these tools to reposition and extend. You can stop monitoring by clicking the microphone and stop monitoring. The last thing you have to check before recording is the project rate. Though the irony is you do not need to use a higher project rate than 44.1 kHz. Still, you need to be aware of this project rate. A lower project rate like 32 kHz or lower may fail to capture all the good bits of your recording. However, the opposite is not true. You will not notice any difference in audio quality with a higher project rate like 88 kHz or more. Instead, your file size will grow significantly larger. I am skipping the details of why that is, but you should know you can get the best possible recording with 44.1 kHz or 48 kHz. All the amazing MP3s you listen are 44.1 kHz. Make sure the project rate is 44.1 kHz or 48 kHz and you are ready. I discussed this point as many beginners wrongly think their bad recording is due to project rate. That is not the case, and when you are not getting a good quality recording, it is more likely your recording environment or equipment, not the project rate. As everything is set, I will press the record button now and let you hear the original recording. Audacity is the best free software for audio editing and recording. Though there are a couple of other softwares which is free, but Audacity is the easiest one to use. You can practice your audio recording and editing in Audacity, and when you are used to this software, you can move to a more complex software. For Mac, you also have the option of GarageBand, and if you think about some paid software, then you can choose Adobe Audition or Isotope RX. There are lots of software available, but whatever software you use, you have to know the basics of audio recording and editing. And to stop the recording, you just press the stop button. The recording is done, and what you see are the timeline and waveform. I'll get back into details of this, but the first thing you need to do is to save the project. File, Save Project, and you will see a warning message as this is not an audio file. You can only open this file in Audacity and not in any other audio playing apps. Click OK. Give your project a name and choose a location to save. You will be able to open this project a later time and work from the last saving point. Remember, Audacity does not have an autosave feature, so you have to explicitly save any changes you want to persist. Here is the Audacity project and op3 file, and I will double click to open it. The blue things are called waveforms. In audio editing, we mainly edit these waveforms. Waveforms are visual guides of your audio. You can get the idea of which parts are louder and which parts are quieter by seeing the waveform. Editing these waveforms are similarly to editing a document editor. I'll discuss those in the next section.